Vango, Rasdada, Yaga, Chuck Fender, the living fire, represent to the fullest. See, perfect balance. Don't know.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Perfect Balance TrodClass, the place where like-minded individuals are guided towards the full development of their potentials through collective reasoning. We have with us Bingi, Okavango, the Rebel Guru, Yaga, aka Teacher Ma'at, and I'm yours truly, Rasdada. Wagwa, my lads.
Give thanks for life.
Right,
Thanks,
so,
man.
yes.
Hopeful. Yes, I give thanks.
Yes, I.
Great energy, great strong, you know. A lot of positive things been accomplished so far on the chart class. I want to remind the viewers to just hit the subscribe button, hit the comments, let us know your views, what you think of the topics we're discussing, and we want you to be a part of the family. We're on the road to 1,000, and I believe we're on a steady pace towards that. But with a little more effort, I believe that we can get there in a more timely manner. And I think that is more beneficial for us all. So remember to subscribe, like, share, hit the notification bell as we continue on this journey. Today, we want to address the final episode in our series on the Black family. We've spoken about the Black woman, her roles, her struggles, her victories, her challenges, and the possible solutions for her condition. We've spoken about the Black man, his failures. We've spoken about the challenges he faces historically and the roles which he should be playing in the family. We've also spoken about the Black child and how important it is for us as a unit to structure the experiences for the Black child so that they are given every opportunity towards success. So today, what we want to do is we want to culminate all those episodes into the Black family, which is an overview of the Black woman, the Black man, the Black child in the Black family. The Black family, it means different things to different people, right? Historically, we've had, as it relates to the Black family, and I don't believe that it's unique to the Black family, but I'm saying that what was working for the Black family was extended families, right? We've seen the families evolve, where we went from extended families, we went to the nuclear family. Now we're in single parent families. We're almost at no parent families at the moment when we really look at it. But for the benefit of argument, we're going to say we're at basically single parent families. What are our views on the evolution of the Black family?
When you say the evolution, how far have we come as far in, the standard of the condition of living, that varies from place to place, right?
Right.
As a Black family, if we're looking at Black families in the West versus the East or Africa, we see the socioeconomic condition and how it affects them, right, within the societies that they live. How far have we come? Well, we're able to participate, right, but still in a limited way, because if we examine all the other ethnic family structures, the Black family is still lagging behind. We are still lagging behind in the sense of equality, having equal opportunity, the conditions which we face as a people, whether it's medical, healthcare, whether it's healthcare or education. So the Black family, even though if we look at them, for in America, for example, yeah, you've come a little way, but there's a long way to go as a family structure. But we are here, and in the midst of all this adversity, when given the opportunity statistically, we outperform um, other ethnic groups when given the opportunity, right? And that's
Yeah.
statistically, right? And even if we look at the Black family on as an extended family, like the I started off saying, where we moved from, right? When we look at Africa, for example, Africa still practices extended family living. Hence, women in Africa too have more children on average than any other ethnic group, right? So, but yet they face the most uh, socioeconomic struggles, right? And yet their extended families are still bigger. But there's a long way, or there's a lot that we have to achieve as a people, right? When we talk about the Black family, right? Um, and we could see how our environments affect our roles in the Black family too, right? That's important because then, depending on where you are, and if we're looking at the Western world, um, you have a real degradation of the Black family happening because we don't understand that extended way of living. So, but we have come a little way, but there's a lot of work to be done, especially in the West.
Yes, sir. So Okavango, the of the different models or forms of the family structure, extended, nuclear, single parent, which are you a proponent of? Which are you in favor of?
I'm just a proponent of you have to be a extended family. You know what I mean? Because that's the strongest, you know what I mean? We're stronger in numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, but when we look at the Black family, as Bengi say, as still stay intact, mostly in Africa, or in the east, but the West is where you see the deterioration of the Black family, where the Black family is almost non-existent, where the Black family doesn't represent what we see in the East. You know what I mean? Black family in the West doesn't represent what we see in the East. So and we need to and if you look even in the East, the Black family has been now infiltrated by the West. You know what I mean? So if we are going to rise up, as we say, as Black people and become, you know what I mean, equals on this earth amongst anybody else, one of the foundation thing we have to start with is the building of the family. We have to build back that family unit. The East can have the family built, and then the West is it has to be one thing. Everybody, you know what I mean? Every part of the earth, we have to try to build back that Black family unit. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. Because that's where we have to start from, building the family. Then we can talk about the community. Then we can talk about the nation. You know what I mean? Yeah, we have to start from the family first. And
Yes,
I would say, especially in the West, and which is where we are and where we reside, the Black family is under a lot of attack, and the Black family is almost, you know what I mean, hanging by a thread. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So before we move on from this area of the reasoning, Yaga, what are some of the and we'll bring it to the item in a moment as well. What are some of the advantages of an extended family versus nuclear or single parent family? What are some of the advantages of those things?
Growing up as a youth, seeing, I remember when it's holiday time, we used to go off to the countryside to visit grandma, to spend time with auntie and give mom some respite so she could get a break from the hassles and a lot of talking that she has to give us because them say we hard years. Seeing those were some memorable moments because we get to experience a different aspect of life because the discipline coming from grandma and coming from auntie is a different kind of thing from which mama give you. And you might get away with some things or you might not get away with some things. And we've seen some youth also, because of various reasons, they didn't have an extended family around them. So they were left to fend for themselves. And from a pretty early age, they had to go out and look it to cook it because the struggle is real. And we've seen a lot of those youth, they haven't done so well as they could have done. And looking back now, I'm starting to linking it to some of these issues, the lack of that family support around. But we know that the neighbor like Master Ralph and Miss Joyce, even if that extended family is not there, they will have an ear out or looking out to see what's going on out there to bring back the world down. And I remember one day we're on the corner and we're hanging out, and they have a nickname they used to call Master Ralph. And when they call Master Ralph the nickname, I wasn't there, my brothers wasn't there, but they said, our parents came and said, it's those boys who did it. And he went home and made a complaint. And based on that complaint, we were supposed to get a beating because you can't disrespect the elder. And more so, it's a neighbor. So when the complaint was lodged, we were in the yard, we didn't leave. So they said, no. On this occasion, you get it wrong because they haven't left out today. And luckily, they could have gone back because we would have gotten a beating for that. Because that's how the discipline used to run. If you did something wrong, they might spank you out at the road. The adults will give you a spanking on the road. And when you go home, you get another spanking. Those are the sort of discipline. In today's time and age, you can't do those things because of rights for the children and they don't know their responsibility and stuff like that. So I think the extended family help to keep the youth in line, help to keep us in line and remind us of where we are coming from and remind us of our upbringing and the discipline that we're supposed to show for our adults and everyone around us in the community. And we've lost that. We've lost that significantly,
That's right. Bingy, what are some of the advantages of the extended family?
Well, for me personally, I know if you live in a extended family, grandpa, mom, dad, or mom or dad alone, grandpa, grandma, you have this educational advantage as well, right? Because now you have this process where information is flowing from the top down, right? So you have that too. But then you also have this support structure that allows you to live life at your fullest potential. Because you knowing you have that support behind you, that is very important, right? Then you know you could do anything with that support. But when we look at the extended family as being advantageous, because that's what we're talking about, we could look at it statistically too, Extended families, typically speaking, African family, they even have more children. Their birth rates are higher because of the support that they have. So we could see that there's a lot that happens in this extended family that benefits the community as a whole, right? And within that extended family itself is a communal structure, right? And so, but that is important because it preserves a lot of what I would say cultural or ethnic identity, right? And understanding. So the extended Black family is very, very important. And I think if we look at Africa today, that's why we could see that in most African countries that do have extended family living, we could see bigger families, right? We see them as bigger groups of people. And statistically, when we look at the countries in Africa, for example, that don't promote extended family, Rwanda, Ethiopia, Malawi, we could see the drastic decline in birth rates based on that. They're not supporting extended family living. And when we see that, they're moving towards more Western style living. So statistically, we could see how it helps in the decline and breakdown of the Black family. So the extended Black family to me is where we must get back to. We must get back to knowing that, hey, we have grandpa and we have a responsibility towards grandpa, which is to take care of him, because grandpa took care of everybody else when he was able to. So we must understand our roles within the Black family as well, right?
Naturally. Okabongo, what about you? Do you have any advantages of the extended
Man,
family that you want to share with us?
yeah, but there's so much advantage. Now we talk in this time right now, we talk about the financial advantage, right? Bingy speak about grandpa, you're taking care of grandpa. No, you see, grandpa is in a home. You gotta pay for that. But Bingy talk about more kids. The kids is at daycare. No.
So that,
You know what I mean? Because grandpa is not home and grandma is not home. Because say, okay, leave the kid with grandma, leave the kid with auntie, leave them with, you know what I mean? Because somebody's always there. You know what I mean? So, you gotta,
grandpa right now, them say, yo, we don't respect me, you know, we not depend that.
yeah, and that's the mentality right now. But the mentality where people, where the West push towards them. Because it wasn't like that one time. Grandma, yo, them want to see the kids, them.
Is
I'm
that
glad to be around them right through. You know what I mean? Right through them want around them. You know what I mean? So we talk about the financial advantage. You know what I mean? There's so much financial advantage because what we see right now, we know what the West we say no. When the kids them turn 18, yeah man, a time for them left. A time for them left. You understand? So a youth at 18 now, if you pay rent or whatever them pay, and you pay the mortgage, and grandma over there, so you gotta pay for have grandma in our home. You know what I mean? Still a carry the smaller kid got daycare. You know what I mean? So it's a whole heap of money you pay when if it was a unit. You know what I mean?
And the money already can't stretch.
Yeah. And you have a youth, same youth now where I say maybe have some ideas about I want to become a businessman or whatever. All I tell them when they see, you know, could have got to war that, you know, and then build a business, you know, and you know what I mean? Something can benefit the family, you know. Instead of you struggle for pay one bill, let's live on tomorrow, you know. If we work together as a unit, you know what I mean? And when we see other groups of people do it. We see other
That
groups
is
of
a
people.
weakness. That is a weakness within the Black family, you know.
It's a thing where they take from we and like and show with something else. Like say, no man, this is go man. There's two people living in our house and yeah, grandma if you buy this and we buy into it. And we start buying into them things because hey, other people them like people them from
India,
Asia.
they place there.
People them place there. Them people that we never some co-worker, 40 years old. I man say mother live in a house and father live in a house and
Yeah,
one we might talk about people live in a house. One bag of people might live in a house, sister and brother live in a house. And we talk about people where
every man have their
give
own
them
house
one.
too. Every man have their own house too.
So,
Yeah, man.
Bingy alluded to it earlier when he said that the information flow downwards, you know. So I wanna put a word to that reasoning, and that word is culture, the transmission or passing of the culture. And I think that this is something that we are, as a people, we are at risk of losing if we haven't lost that already. The culture, the way that culture is passed from generation to generation is through generations. So the elder generation or the previous generation pass the information, the cultural data, the cultural information on to the following or next generation. And I think that is one of the greatest advantages that we had in the extended family, and that is the transfer of cultural data. And I think that if we don't make efforts, like serious effort towards safeguarding this, then we're at risk of really seeing a drop in our culture, which we have seen it already. Because if you ask somebody, you them know what is Maypole or Dinkimini or Jankuno, a lot of the youth them today, them don't have an idea what these things are. But these things was a rich part of our culture. Today, in this melting pot, it's like nobody really, unless you have a strong cultural identity, you can't really identify people individual cultures anymore. And I think that it is important for us to have our cultural identity, because your cultural identity gives you self-worth, and it makes you know that you are valuable and you are important. And if we don't safeguard those things, then we face a great risk of losing them. Like if we don't find a way how we can teach the next generation our culture, then we're at risk of losing our culture. And another thing with the extended family, which I find to be beneficial, is that this generation gap that is promoted. I believe that when we had extended families, we didn't have this vast generational gap, because within the family, the children loved the elders, because that is where they got the most nurturing from the elders. And the elders loved the children. So there was a greater interconnectivity between the generations. Because of the separation that has happened now with the moving away from the extended family structure, we find now that the elders don't have that great amount of interaction with the youth, and the youth don't have that great amount of interaction with the elders. So now they become separated. You understand? They're now estranged almost. So the youth who used to love and respect and adore the elders, today them deal with the elders like they're nobodies. And
All people.
yes, you understand? And the elders who would love and nurture and care for the youth, today they despise them almost, like they don't want to be nowhere close to them. They don't want to come in contact or deal with them almost. And once we have that, that is a very, 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 very slippery slope to be on.
Well,
And
but it's
even
design. It's the way we live is by design in the West to do that. You know, it's deliberate,
Yeah,
right?
it's deliberate, man.
It is very deliberate, because what it does do is not only that, you know, when you don't have that support, right, you lose part of your humanity, you know. What is that? Your responsibility towards others. So now you think it's just about you
No.
and you and you and you. So you become self-absorbed, right?
Yeah,
So
man.
there's no love, there's no responsibility, there's none of that, because you now is only thinking about your survival, what you must do for yourself. So you lose that as well. So you're losing your humanity as you see the degradation as well within the Black family. You
Yes,
lose
sir.
it, because when you have that support, man, now you have time for yourself in a manner that you, wherever you want for you, you want it for every other human being. So that's where that love come in, when you had a clean grandpa when he take a poop, for example, and he can't help himself. You see it as a responsibility that you must do. You
Yep.
have to do. That's
And
something that I
you
got
take
doing that.
joy, you take joy in that.
Yes, joy, man,
You
pleasure,
take joy
right?
in that.
So part of that breakdown, degradation in our family is also a degradation within your human nature.
So, Yaga, you was about to say something?
yeah, man, well, I say, despite the degradation of the culture, and we see other cultures infiltrating and seeping into our culture, we have to find ways of preserving our traditions and our family values, our ancestral realms as a Black family, how we are supposed to be, because otherwise you lose your identity. And I'll give you a simple example. See, I try to trace my roots, my family tree, and I can only go back as far as my great grandmother. And when I talk to the elders, they can't go to their great grandmother because it stops at their grandmother, which is my great grandmother. And for me, I have an issue with that. I have a problem with that. And there's no further I can dig, because it means that I don't know my family tree. It means that I don't know my history. And that's a big part of me that is missing. And other people in today's day and world, they don't feel any way about that because they are more individualistic. They are living in the present, and they've taken other people's traditions and taken on other people's culture. Happily.
And you speak of culture, and that's the one thing, that's where we are talk about Pan-Africanism, and forget about yourself. I mean, I will not even say, if you go live in Africa, we have to get in tune with your Africanness, because we talk about grandma and grandpa, I mean, the hell that them passing on culture, but we still have a safeguard, say, enough of them things with them have as culture is not even really
Our culture.
our culture, them a pass on, You understand? So we have to safeguard some of them things there, Because some of
Naturally.
them things they need to get, you know what I mean? We need to look towards Africa to get back the culture, because some of them things that we can get them back from, if we look towards Africa, as an African, You know what I mean? Because all we have to do, we are talking about the extended family and, you know what I mean, the disruption of a family. But if we look towards our culture in Africa, it's still represent over on that side. You know what I mean? So
Naturally.
it's a look to the east. You know what I mean? Look to the east and we can gain back ourselves from there. So you understand?
We have to
Yeah,
return
man.
to our ancestral values, man.
Yeah, man.
We have to return to
Yeah.
our ancestral values where we have peace and unity and cohesion as a family.
So everywhere, anywhere they on the earth, man. And we there so now right now, and we seeing the last I look like, but just look back to home, man. And we can take it from this. So. You know what I mean? Because it's still the same way. It's there, full same way. But we have just look, you know what I mean, getting tuned to your Africanness, you know what I mean? And that's a part of we struggling at the West. You understand? Yeah, part of we struggling at the West. Because if we more in tune, or get more in tune, we know one time now when we can get in tune, you understand? But we saw this, we call that
Disconnected.
yeah.
Disconnected. Well, you will find out.
Distracted me, I love. Distracted me, I love. Distracted. We
You find out
distracted by
also that
Western.
it's not only a problem in the West, it's also an issue on the continent.
Yeah, because the Western, them with them thing powerful enough to reach over the two, Yeah,
Their culture, because remember, say,
Culture.
ultimately it's a
Cultural
cultural war,
influence.
It's a war of cultures, Like whose culture?
their culture
I go.
are lack of.
Yes.
Our lack of.
I think that our culture is always influencing other culture and other people want to follow our culture. So when did it get in our mindset, our brain say, we can follow and take on other people's culture? When are we a leader? Are we a trendsetter?
Some of them sitting there, and true, they will tell you, say, boy, oh, people love your culture, But people love more time them make your culture because them see you do this, they not do it. And say, oh, look for me, I look a fool in this year. Look for me, video me. You know what I mean? But they don't really take it on and live it. They not live it. We are live for them culture and live it as like our own. You know what I mean?
But I believe that what Yaga says is accurate still, because we have seen where person, even in music, let us use something out of the arts, right? Music. We see where the music of African people carries a great influence globally.
Yeah.
You understand? So we can see this, and we can agree with that. But I also agree with what you say, Okavongo, where I say a lot of times people not doing it out of a genuine admiration for it, but just in that moment.
Yeah.
I think we have a reason about it before, where you say them in a vacation mode. And they want them out.
They don't like it because it look nice right now. They're not which African culture you see. Other people are live by that culture there. Like I live by it. No, there's a little thing for them to just go and enjoy themselves right now. Entertainment and them thing there.
Yes, true.
Entertainment. They're not really a live it, but we there a live other people culture. You know what I mean?
Literally.
And see it as the right way to go. Them will live it. Or they see it as the right way to go, you know what I mean? This is the right way to do it. You know
Naturally.
What I mean?
Yeah. So this is very important. Another thing, and I believe that it is somewhat controversial sometimes, but another aspect of the Black family that I would like us to talk about is interracial families. Like, what are our views on interracial situations within the family? What are our views on this?
Interracial. Well, as a Pan-Africanist, I'm about building the Black family. And as we are saying, we're in a situation now where the Black family, we need a structure. We need to build the Black family, right?
Absolutely.
So I thought personally, I couldn't say I have build a Black family and then without have a Black woman. You understand? Or we have a black family without a Black woman. So when we in a situation, right, and you left and go marry somebody else, you know what I mean? We want the Black woman. You know what I mean? But I think our duty took, by the way, as Black people, to build back the Black family. We have to come together and say, yo, nobody listen to anybody I say. Now listen to them. We have build back a Black family. So find a Black man. The Black man in a record. We tell woman them, find a Black man. Black man, find a Black woman. Whole over them out there. You understand? Find one we match you.
That's
They say
right.
they can't find one in the West, then go on the continent.
Yeah, man, because like me, I say we have nothing against
Anyways,
people. Because people are people. People are people, right? And people can love people. But me, I say, we as a people in a situation, we need to build our thing. You know what I mean? And to build our thing, we have to look for our people them to build our thing with. You understand? Yeah, because we talk about the Black family. So Black family, Black man, Black woman. You understand?
Black
To
child.
build that. Because if we remember we talk about extinction. Remember we talk about extinction and we say, boy, if that can cause extinction, you know, if you go we have a wild thing over water down, you know. Yeah, man, thing of water down, and then I mean for our thing I go last. Yeah, I'm saying for maintain our thing, if we go off.
So I have a safeguard. We have a safeguard.
Man. I safeguard our thing, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Human. Yes, sir. Yes, Yaga.
If we look at it from a historical point of view, see, and we had talked before even slavery. And case in point, let's look at Egypt, because some people don't even know that Egypt is a part of Africa. Because what happened in Egypt is that when the colonizers came in, they start raping the Black women and having children with the Black women. And you find that the children of the Black women, they move towards their father or their mother. They stick to that side of the family. And they will even go on operation against their mother's side of the family, because they don't have to go through the persecution. They don't have to go through the judgment that their Black family is going through. So we've seen that as helped to change the face of Egypt to what it is now, to the extent where many people think it's not even in Africa. So I think this is a part of the design. This is a part of the design, even though we know that the dominant gene is the Black gene. But sometimes this is part of the reason why these things are happening also, and people find it easier to just say, yo, other way the may go.
So
Yeah.
Basically, I say that make it people in Egypt look different. Me want
Yeah,
the
man.
reason, say, you know.
Yeah,
Also,
man.
we can't find them the knowledge. Yeah.
When you can find them, all right. There's a book called The Destruction of the Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. That's a one place where you can find that. See, and you can check out also a book called The ISIS Paper by a psychologist called Dr. Frances Cresswell-Singh. She touched on some of these issues. As a matter of fact, Dr. Frances Cresswell-Singh, the guy who got the Nobel Prize on race theory back in the 60s or 70s, I think, she and this guy was having the same kind of conversation, but she was representing the Black race. And of course, you know, he's the one who was put on the pedestal. But the knowledge is out there, the information is out there. Not because we have disagreement as black man and black woman, it means that we can't deal with you. Disagreement is normal. We find a way of working around those things.
Yes, sir.
You see? And we sight up a lot of youth now. Them a move the other way because them find the conversation easier. Them don't want to have this discussion where them have to find solution and work around the things where them disagree on. So it's a lot of issues, brothers. You know, as we said, a black man, black woman, and black child.
Yeah, man. And one of the thing, you know, where we have to look onto, you know. Remember, say then teach us we not love ourselves, you know. Then tell us everything about ourselves, bad, right? Everything ugly, everything undesirable. So, no for the youth them, man and woman, when you look on a black man or a black woman, them look, you know what I mean? Look on the gender them. But they must see something ugly. They must see something where
Undesirable.
yeah, undesirable. So they must say, yo, you know, we can't
No
do better than
wonder.
this. We can't do better than this, you know.
So if
Because
you see
Somebody
black
else.
brothers, if you see black brother and black sisters ugly, then they're not going to see you as ugly too.
well, they must try to elevate themselves now. And some people, you know, I say, boy, them no want for them, pitney them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They come look like a you know. So they want some, you know what I mean, somebody with pretty hair now. Yeah.
And
The
what is that?
desirables.
Yeah,
Eh?
what is that?
The
But
desirables.
that's part of the breakdown too, you know, the
Yeah.
black family, right?
Mhm.
These are some of the results when you out there and you have no identity. So this is what happens, right? In
Mhm.
order for you to think of yourself in a certain way, you think you have to go outside of your ethnic group, right? That's what we're dealing with, right? So you could enhance yourself, but as a fallacy, use always who you is.
Naturally.
Use always who you is. It don't matter what you do, right? But you
Sure.
have to come into that understanding.
Naturally.
Bingo.
Right now, they lack that understanding. We're talking about the black family, right? Then we're not talking about interracial families. We're
Yeah.
talking about black
The black
families,
family.
There
right?
is an
Bingo.
experiment once, you
Interracial
know.
family is different, right? Because there's a mix there, right? And we're not saying, hey, that person who do that, they're wrong for doing that. But what I talking about is the black family. And in the black family, there's no interracial marriages.
Yeah.
In the black family.
In the black family. I
Yeah,
leave Melina was still.
you can experiment that.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, talk about that experiment.
Well, it just coming full circle to what they were Okabongo say in terms of what we view as beautiful and undesirable, where them bring in the children as an experiment, a social experiment to see where their perceptions of beauty lie, and then give them different dolls, like
Right.
a white doll, a short doll, tall doll,
Black
fat doll,
doll.
A
black
black
doll,
girl.
and the one that all of the children pretty much, or the great majority of the children came in and saw and viewed as ugly or undesirable was the black doll, even the black children, you know. So it just showed the mental programming that was on even from as young as the children, as early as childhood. They have implemented this ideology that black is ugly, black is undesirable, and they were able to represent that through this experiment, through this social experiment, you know.
That
So,
is a part
you
of
know,
the psychological warfare we spoke about.
earlier, yes, I.
Yeah. And the next thing to, you know, because we saw you have so we grew up, right, and we see the only thing we have around we are black woman. So we have to choose a black woman because there's no white woman or there's no other race. Yeah, but guess what now? Man, them not try change them black woman into look like
Yes, I.
another race. You know
And
what I mean?
change themselves.
Yeah,
And
man.
change
That is
themselves.
identity crisis, yeah.
Yeah,
and
them,
change
you know what I
themselves too.
mean? They want them to change and look more like, you know what I mean? So, if they must say a black woman without a natural hair, they must say, no, man, go ahead, just as money. Yeah, that? Yeah, they don't want them look. They don't want them to look.
Don't get that verse.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but
It's a terrible situation
gotta
we
get
find
that.
ourselves in. And we have to really come now and find that balance. You know, how do we deal with the present world and still maintain our strong cultural identity as a people? And that's what we have to fight towards, you know, because the present world is geared towards capitalism, is geared towards what can you achieve out of it. And it's almost like there is no room for cultural identity. But if we as a people who have been through the things we have been through and the trauma we have been through, if we lose our cultural identity, then we have lost ourselves.
That
But we see it,
I
but we
wouldn't
see it
even tell.
happening though. We see it happening. We that's why we talking about it, because we see in the West where I live, the cultural identity is no longer there.
Yes, sir.
I say, you could go to yard and talk to youths about tradition that they supposed to know, but they don't know it, but they're still living in yard.
Yes,
so,
sir.
so we know that they're losing cultural identity. It don't even matter where they live in the West. They're losing it.
Yes,
Why?
sir.
Because there's a stronger culture at hand that is deliberately doing this to you.
Yes, sir.
Deliberately doing it. And it's with an agenda. And it's with our agenda, because once you don't have that identity, you don't have cohesiveness. There is no coming together.
Yes,
so
sir.
once you're separated, man, is Shin Tzu, man, the art of war.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you were saying something?
Remember, seeing, I and I travel and experience different cultures, different places. And we've seen that the only people who will honor in maintaining their culture and maintaining their traditions, to an extent, is African. Because a lot of people, despite the development that is going on in their community, in their cities, in their towns, they still preserve their family values. They still preserve their traditions. They still preserve their culture. And it's a big part of the ecotourism and the fabric of their society, because they value these things and where they are coming from and where they are now. But for some reason, we find it easy to forget about our thing and take on to people thing.
And it was easy, you know, Yaga. Because I push man, you know, tell us say your thing not ready, you know. Your thing not look good, you know. Your thing, yeah, I mean, my thing better than your thing, you know. So
Programming.
I just the programming that I say. People just start see, okay, people just start believe and say, you know, say this is a foolish for sure. Remember we talk about voodoo and them thing that we talk about, nothing we talk about. You know what I mean? Then they start see people always have the same thing, just like your own, and them tell say your one already, and then you say, boy, you know, say a show and go do for them one. But just like your
if we can use a situation, right, for really kind of bring forth this point, right? And when you look at it to agriculture, right? Food, right? Coming out of the Caribbean, the West Indies, right? We pretty much always had organic. Like we never did a grow food with fertilizer and chemicals and these things. We used to grow food naturally, organically, right? These people, this culture, these people come in and say to us, no, listen, we can get you to increase your yield, we can get you to produce more of your food, we can get you to produce bigger food, better looking food, all of these things. All you have to do that is use these chemicals. And these chemicals go help you to get these things. We're buying to it hook, line, and sinker, right? So now we stop practice organic farming. We start working now with chemical farming. We are dealing with fertilizer. We are dealing with herbicides, pesticides, all of these things, right? No,
even the same.
Why them do that, right? Why them do that? Them take up the practice of organic farming. The same practice what we did all along, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Why them say, no, this is no good. Them now take it up and market it and make it become now the more valuable food product, you know. Whereas we did have that all along, you know. I would give it up to accept this cultural practice of using chemicals and these things to deal with the food and give up our original culture of the organic food, right? And what we see the result of it at? it end up being a socioeconomic result because what happened? It costs you more for food now, right?
Mhm.
It costs you more for food now because now when you really want to get the organic food, you have to go pay more for it.
People.
You have to pay more for it, right? Which you should have paid less for it because you're not use as much of the things them in it. So automatically because the input cost lower, you should have paid less. But no, them say it's a more valuable thing and they market it more. So you pay more, right?
Because stick and pin, you had to get
Yes,
in
right.
money some way or the other, you know.
Right, right.
Meaning, if you're eating organically, you'll be healthier. So you
Mhm.
gotta pay more because you're not going to the doctor as much.
Right. So the money have to generate
The
from
money had to generate
Yeah.
from somewhere still, you know, it's
so
economics.
that's how we said socioeconomic. So we have to
Yes.
financially
Mhm.
and then
Yes.
health wise
But that
it
that
carry an effect as well. So
Mm.
the reason why we bring this to the forefront is to say this is another example of where we have given up our cultural way of doing things. Accept a new culture of
And
doing
they
it.
sell it back
And
to
then
you.
we see the effect of it. Right? So that's what I say. Likewise with our African culture or Africanness as you call it, Okavango. They're trying to force us to give this up, to implement a new diverse culture to us. And in order for us to be a part of this new diverse culture, we have to completely give up our original culture. But what we're saying is that we don't have to give up our culture. We don't have to. We can still live, as Yaga saying, go around the world and him see other ethnicities that they're still a part of the new culture. But what they do, they still hold on to their traditional ways of doing things and family values. And what we have to do as a people, and it's difficult for us. Don't think that we're gonna look at it independently, you know, because the trauma that we have been through as a people and the programming that we have been through as a people is geared towards especially us giving up our culture because they don't want us to practice our culture, right? So we know that it is a challenge for us to practice this culture. So what we're saying is that the foundations of safeguarding our culture exist within the black family. Black man playing their roles, black women playing their roles, black children playing their roles. And when everyone is playing their roles, then we can see as the aim of the perfect balance TrodClass is to see the full development of the black people potential. And that is what we will see once we have a stable black family, right? And everyone in the black family playing their roles. So something I want to touch on as well is because we've spoken a little bit about the generation gap, which is a real situation that we have to do something about. That has to be addressed. Because if we don't bridge this generational gap, then it's almost that we're going to be lost because we have to have a connection between generation to generation for us to survive, right? The battle of the sexes, black woman versus black man at odds with each other. What are our views on this?
We
Darling, that
we touched on it a bit earlier on, where during conversations we find it difficult to converse. We don't see eye to eye, and we cannot reason. And sometimes the black woman even see the black man as being aggressive, and we can't handle all of this. You know, it creates a standoff, and the man is holding his own and want to demonstrate that, listen, I'm the one who wear the pants around here, but he know when I wearing pants as well. So he tried to show that authority, and it creates a conflict within the black family. And it creates a big division to the extent where the black man can't get to see his child, or the black woman can't get to see his child. And you know, a major part of any father, any mom mindset is having their child around them, having access to their child around them when they want to, without restriction. And it creates a big tension.
Exactly.
I'm
So
not sure. I'm not sure where this battle of the sexes thing originate from. I'm not sure where it originate from, but is it one of the most me not see the people we are push them thing that me not see the sense. Me don't know where them get the idea from. Because if when we look, because upon social media, I see them think they are going on, really and truly. A social media thing, I see them think they are going on. And I really black people, I see them think the battle of the sex is a black thing. Where black man across the black woman and black woman across the black man. You know what I mean? And it's like me not understand it. You know what I mean? Because basically, like them I say, black man I say, oh, like me not want the black woman, and the black woman I say the same thing. You understand? And then this other thing now, what them call feminist thing, where it's like you see the black woman them take up a thing where like them take up some white woman problem, and I can put it on a black man. You know what I mean? Because I think that they matter about like some man in authority, and but me I said that was never the black man. And you're a black man that, you know what I mean, the man them we are holding down and a biblically and I say you can't do that. I'm not the black man do that. So me don't know how you can project them there. Take them. By you're a black man, we under the same pressure where you under.
You under.
Yeah, and so I'm a some white woman problem that. You understand? You and you're a black man that go through the struggle together. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, you're a black man that go through the struggle. So, me don't know how, if you want to say like, why, the thing then where you face as woman, or you say woman a face. Yeah, but you look like you're a black man. When I have no power then to do anything there. You want to blame him. You know what I mean? See, we are trying, okay, work with the black man, I work with you. You know what I mean? Work with the black woman. If you build for nothing, they take up other people fight and I fight other people fight. Then, maybe when they fight, they back level 6 and they fight. I don't know. I don't really know black fight that. You look over this and see some other things are going on over the other side. And take on people war. You understand? Yeah, man, we have to done the thing there and burn out about back level sexes and come together and build a black family. We are talking about back level sexes.
Not a part of the culture. Not a part of the tradition.
Thing there. But if me and man them attack say, oh, black woman, this black woman, that black a black woman loud, black woman want this and money, yeah? I mean I say, well, work with it when we are talking about. If I saw the NCA, we have work with it.
Money
like
have to run. Money have to run.
I mean,
bills have to pay, food have to
like
eat.
Bingy, what are your views on it?
It's foolishness. Is another distraction.
Madness, man.
Yeah,
Madness.
it's a distraction. And these distractions are there to even further create divisions. That's why these distractions, these things are just distractions. So you just losing yourself more and more. You're losing yourself. These things are very deliberate, because if you understand these things as a human being, what you're supposed to be working towards, right? The goals that you're intended to work towards as a family unit, then there's no battle. There can be a battle because we working towards the same thing.
Common goal.
Right? A common goal. So them thing is distractions, Them thing is foolishness. Those type of thing, battle of sexes and thing, that's just showing you how much more we are losing ourselves. That's what it shows, the ignorance. That is ignorance. That no battle, no sexes,
Right. So,
remember what you mentioned, say, black man, like them not say, we in our situation where situation of failure, right? Where a black family they put together, and we always say a black woman them, like sometimes why them not say, yo, a black family hang by a thread, and we need to come together and build this, So them as Bingy said earlier, all them I think are just individuals about me,
Yes,
about me and what I want,
I want more distraction.
If we can link it again to what Yaga said earlier, right? When we talk about the family tree, right? And what we view as important and significant, right? Like, I would say that I have a similar experience where I could only trace my family tree back to my great-grandparents, which is what? Yeah, your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. Let's say that's 4 generations, right? Let's say that's 4 generations. But yet still you have families that can trace their family tree for thousands of years. You know what I say?
Yeah.
And to them value that. But to we as a people, we don't value that. So it comes down to what we put value to. What do we assign value to? So if we put value to an awareness of our history and our family history, then we're gonna consider something like knowing your family tree as important, right? If we put value to the black family achieving the common goals which were set for them to achieve, then we're gonna do the things that will enhance or make sure that those things happen or those goals are achieved. But when we don't put when we don't attribute value to those things, then we're not gonna put the effort and the energy into those things. And I think that is where the issue lies, in that we have not been taught to value these things. And until we come to a point where we can say, no, but these things are valuable things that need to be preserved, that need to be safeguarded, that need to be continued, then we will not find it necessary to take up the mantle or the responsibility of doing these things. So the question now arises, do we consider these things valuable? Do we consider these things necessary?
Well, do you
No,
even
no.
know that it's valuable?
What do you think?
Well, again, considering it, do you even know that it's valuable? You would have to know that it's valuable to consider.
The things we're talking about, Okavan,
Yeah.
the
So
black family,
you know,
knowing our
mention.
family history.
So you know, we talk about all them issue there, right?
Mhm.
All the issue. The black man, you know what I mean, the black love, the sexes, you know what I mean, extended family, and the person we talk about, if the person will suffer the most because of all them things they break
Black
down.
child.
The black child.
Child.
The black child. And who is the black child?
I
Me.
am. Mm-hmm.
You.
I am.
All of we are the black child. All of we suffer because of that. You know what I mean? So what we end up at do? We end up at the conveyor belt I put out broken black child because you know what I mean? The thing need fixing. The thing need fixing. The conveyor belt, because of these broken families, these
Dysfunctional.
dysfunction within the family. We keep having broken black child, so we see we use them on the road now. I kill off them one another. We see we use them because of broken family again, you know. Use them obese. We see the use them. Yeah, it's a serious thing, you know.
Yes, sir.
Because
mental trauma.
the mental trauma. We see you them depressed and them grow up become done. Adults like me and you and pass it off and pass it on to feed them youth. So the conveyor belt I bring out. And we say we need to break the
trend.
The trend them man. We need to break the trend there. You know what I mean? Because we can't afford to bring out broken news over and over again.
Yo, the one.
Yeah, man.
The man might be the head of the household, but the head can't move without the neck. And the black woman have to know, say, yo, I have the neck, and you tell the head where to go. If you don't tell the head to turn right or left, you can't move. So just play a role. And we go work together as a black family. I know say one pot, and not two pot, you know, no 50-50 business. A one pot, so we put in a one pot and take care of our need for take care of. So if me down and you up, and you are deal with it. If you down and out, and me are deal with it. That one deal with it.
And we talk about the head too, you know. We have to remember, say, when it come to certain part of the family, you know, maybe we talk about direction of the family. We are say, at the man at the head. But we all have a role within the family where you control the part there. You understand? You head the part there. Because we are talking about, say, like food and nutrition then. You know what I mean? That's the part where normally the woman control, you know. And you can't go into the kitchen and go tell her, say, boy, I saw this figure. You know what I mean? You have to load the part there. You can get run out of the kitchen. So she head the department there.
Get all a big spoon.
Yeah. You say nobody can try. You know what I mean? So you see, it's a togetherness thing, Virgin.
Naturally.
It's a balance thing. We say we don't say already. Say man and woman is a balance. You understand? So we are going in a relationship the relationship of a balance out for work.
Naturally. I
So
think
the-
you
so-
got
so-
to say
so-
because them say rules. You know, everyone have to play them rules.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
so
sir.
you come with,
Mm,
with your thing and me come with my thing and we balance it out and we bring the perfect youth them in the
And
world.
black man
You
to
know what I mean?
realize, say, yo, you see, if a woman earn more money, yo, no problem that, nothing wrong with that, star. I want, but
No, that you got but I think we say we talkie. I don't know earn the money because if we are move as a unit, nobody now earn the money more than one money.
I want
yeah,
money.
someone
money
take
is,
offense to that, sir. Someone
I
take
want-
offense to that.
Your money,
I think
our
the
money, you know.
offense, pretty. I think the offense is where the person who make the more money, I try lord it over the other person, and I try to say, oh well, to me I make the more money, well, I me go call the shots, I me go do this. I think that
Yeah.
is the dysfunction what
That is
cause
the
the
problem.
issue. But
But
once,
that only happens in immature relationships, though.
Right.
Yeah, man.
That's
yeah, man.
called
Right.
immaturity. That has
Right,
nothing
right.
to do with that's
Mhm.
just immaturity.
right.
Is it that relationship was based on and we try to create something, you know what I mean, create a good environment for some youth and keep people life going, you know. You know what I
Naturally.
mean? Yeah,
Mm.
man. It wasn't based on that. It was just based on maybe some material thing. Maybe they like how you look in your clothes and you know what I mean. They look like you have some money, but you know look so again.
Naturally. Because
Yeah.
the money I water down.
Water
Right.
down, you understand? Or when me they see you, you know what I mean? They look like you have money, but right now my thing up. So, hey, where I do? You know what I mean? You know, they get it.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Things triple down now.
Yeah, man. That's not what
Yeah.
I'm going to forget about you, though.
Mm. Yes, sir. So I just come down still. So when I say, in terms of the rules of the ones in the family, we have to just over say, like, we have to value each rule in that family. There's no rule that is greater or lesser than any rule because every rule is necessary. You see my deal? And until we come out of that ideology where we'll say, oh, this rule is, and I think that these thought patterns were the birth of even the feminist movement because they were looking at the rules of the woman in the home as inferior, whereas it's one of the most important rules in the society. You understand what I mean? And within the society, I think that the woman should have received earnings for being a mother in the home. Like that should have been the woman them job.
How will I pay them that?
No,
The-
Dada. What you know, Dada? What you know?
Mhm.
As we said a while ago, man, the money, because I remember say, we talk about them take the woman out of the home, you know.
Mhm.
But when the man used to go work, you know, you see the money we make wasn't fitting money, you know.
No man,
It
that's
was
just
true.
our
can't
money.
Mhm.
It just can't go yard.
In can get because guess what? Our money.
Mhm.
You understand? So
Naturally.
it was that she was there do her part, and me I do my part. You understand? But
Mhm.
no, we are look on it one different way. You understand? Where we look on every, you know, say almost every single thing where woman do where woman good at
Mhm.
is seen as less than.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yo,
Mhm.
woman, you know, when you come to name your favorite teacher at school.
Yeah,
Yeah, man,
man.
remember say that it's a woman teacher.
Yeah, man.
Everybody's favorite teacher is
Is
a woman teacher. Your favorite teacher at kindergarten is a woman. Your favorite teacher at primary or we call it middle school is a woman. All you hear them is a woman. So you know say woman when they come to them teaching there and them nurturing there.
Them
Woman
better at it.
better. And every time you look, you see woman a fight for teachers a fight for sitting there for raise a pay. All over the world. It's not unique to no part of the time. All over the world, teacher a fight for raise a pay for better money. You know what I mean? When the next thing, nursing, you always see them a fight for them things. So all like woman see them, job them, always have to fight. Forget them
Them true words.
But I talk about the feminist movement, but that's what the feminist movement is about, right? About having equal pay, having justification after sexual violence. So that is why it arises, right? Because of the inequalities that we see happening where men think that them better than women, or they are the authority on women.
But
we
we never
not.
feel like we're the being black man.
But-
Never
but
feel like
Bingy-
No. Subjugation makes a woman feel like that. If a woman wasn't subjugated to certain what you say biases, then you wouldn't have a feminist movement, for example, as Ras talk about, right? Because that is what it's based on. It's based on them being recognized as equal to a man. That's
Right.
that is what the feminist movement is about, you know. Let's be
Right.
clear,
But
right?
Bingy,
And the reason that arise is because the woman now, right, was subjugated to conditions that she didn't want to be subjugated to.
I don't know if
Now,
that necessarily accurate, Bingy.
yeah.
what do you
You have
mean?
to say free. You have to
But
say free.
Bingy, all right, Bingy.
Why you
We
say
have to
that?
have a balance. There's a balance. So
You always have a balance.
yeah, because so the feminine movement is like say a man where is a mechanic, right? And we talk about certain things where women actually do better than man, right? But you also have things where man do better than woman too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. But the feminist movement, I say, a man where work on a construction site and a care 2 bucket, forget this. Yeah, a woman where care 1 bucket, forget the same amount of money because she a work on the side too. Yeah, you
No,
understand? And we are say,
they say
I can't
equal.
so you go.
They say equal pay for equal money, right? I mean, equal work for equal pay. The movement focus on reproductive rights, domestic violence, maternity leave, equal pay, sexual harassment, sexual violence. That's what the movement focus on, you know.
Right.
Actually,
as
now what we think, you know, that is what documented as the focus, right?
As a
But
family, it should have been good.
no,
Those
no.
issues that affect us, you know.
So you never grew up and see a man beating his wife in the road?
Yeah, but
I see that
there
many
are
times.
exceptional
Alright.
cases.
I see that many
Yeah.
times.
But those were the norm.
I see that
those were the
many
norm.
times.
But it
was
still wasn't the norm, Bingy.
Eh?
It still wasn't the norm.
Nah,
That's
I
why
see
we're
that
You know,
saying
you
happen.
say you cite
I
it
see
many
that
times.
happen too
issues
often. I see that too often to not
Alright.
think that it is a part of the society I live in.
Mm-hmm.
Where I
Alright.
see
What-
men beat abusing women.
We agree. We are not endorsing or supporting violence against women.
No.
Right? In no way, shape, or form. What we're saying is this. We're saying that there is an agenda towards the destruction of the family, the black
Yes.
family, right? And one of the tools that they have used to achieve this agenda is the feminist movement. Because what they have done is they have put in the minds of the black woman that, oh, you don't need to stay in the home and nurture and raise your children. You don't need to do that. You can be out there in the working field because you can do any job that any of these men can do. You are able to do it. I'm not saying that they are not able to do it. I am saying that the roles that they were placed to do, which is to nurture the black child. This is the role of the black woman, to nurture the black child. Because just as Okavongo said earlier, there are things that the woman do better than the man. And one of those things is nurturing.
Yeah, man.
Right? One of those things is nurturing. And that is why the black woman have that responsibility to nurture the black child. So with the feminist movement, what we saw was that the black woman now saw that they were now told that to nurture your family and your children is not good enough.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. What is good enough is for you to go and get a degree, go and become a professional, go out in the working world. You know, whatever area of it you want to do, if you want to go bring the concrete bucket them on the
And you don't need a man, just buy a dog.
Understand?
Yeah, buy a dog.
So what we're saying is, that these issues that existed, Bingy, violence against women, all of these things, they existed. But within the black family, that was not the norm. That was never the norm.
I'm saying in the West, you cannot say that wasn't the norm. It wasn't part of the fabric. And the reason why it is so in the West is because of our socioeconomic condition, where men, right, they no longer feel a certain way as a man then. Because of the society living, a black man was under so much pressure
Pressure.
that he lose focus of who he is.
Right.
The results of that is now on the woman. When he get angry, he take it out on the woman because she is the lesser of the force
So
within
so
the
are you
household.
saying
So
are
I'm
you saying,
saying,
Bingy,
yes.
are you saying that within the black family, violence against woman was a norm?
It is something that, yes, during a period, I don't know about now. I know when I look at the black family structure, violence in the West, we're talking about
Right in the West.
violence against women in the black family happens more often than not. And I statistically, that happens more often, and that is because of the conditions that you live under.
You're
the
talking about 16
depravity.
years ago, which was
I
wrong
don't
about
know.
the whole the feminist movement came about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's
I
what,
mean, I
and
think say,
we have to get past that. That's the point. But
Bingy,
we can't say the feminist movement itself is responsible or solely responsible for what we've seen happening. I'm saying it has a rise within the black family as well because of what is happening within the black family. If the black family had that structural cohesiveness, you wouldn't see that happening. You wouldn't see the black woman running to be a feminist because we would all understand that we are equals. We have rules to play. We wouldn't see
I
that.
think that's what
We
I
don't
meant when I
understand
said
that.
they are taking on someone else's agenda because that wasn't an issue or a problem that we have. You get me? So it's an issue that they've taken on because these people are experiencing this within their family, within their household, within their community. But over time, we've seen where people feel strongly about that because they're going through their personal issues, they're going through their personal moment. But as a whole, this wasn't a problem that we have.
We didn't have in public. Repeat.
Maybe
It
not
was
because
But
a
Bingy,
problem.
thing wrong.
Seen.
Turn up a one person may ever see do that.
I
Go
see
ahead.
enough of that.
but Dada, that's not a black and a black people thing that. And a
Right.
black people thing. It's
It's a
right across
societal
the board.
thing.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, it's
human
not a black
experience,
people thing.
right?
So
But
yeah, it's a
we are
human
saying
thing.
within the black family. We are saying within
Yeah.
the black family.
But me I said that wasn't a black thing, and so anything there is a thing we'll pick up from other people too. Because
True.
I mean I say, you know, when women start say boy them want equal this and equal that, you know, black people wasn't in no power, you know, and never no black man a deny them, you know. Like I said from earlier say, if black man they decide that black woman are face the same separation and the same we call that a suffer same way from a hand that would they do it. Just like with the white woman they suffer too. Because a white man is in control and terrorize everybody else.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah. But we
we
dealing with
at this time
realities.
now, we at this time now where we black woman them a become feminist and I blame black man, the black man them for something where them never do and them put them in the situation here. You understand? All of it at the same time. So for black people or for black woman, the feminist thing no make no sense to me. You understand? Because I know them the black man at the power and we that hold your back. You understand? And we that say, boy, stay your yard. You understand?
Right.
Yeah. Black man never have the power to do that. Yeah. Then the thing that I think we that implement by somebody else. You understand?
In understand
So you can't just jump out now and get the education and a beat black man like say a black man that do that and a black man that do that. It's a white man issue. A white man issue that.
We see where technology has become so accessible But yet still, due to migration, we find the black family has been scattered all over the place and the link has been grown further. But with the advent of the technology and access to the technology, we need to use the technology and link up and communicate more often to the black family, black man, black woman, black cousin, black auntie, black uncle, black grandfather, black everybody. Yeah, we can use the technology and bridge
And
that
link
gap,
up.
the bridge the generation gap.
Yeah.
Which is
Real
right.
talk. Real talk.
But then
Which is
what do
right.
we do, right? Because we live in reality, right? So it is here, right? No matter what we do, it is a here, right? They're exposed to this condition that we live under, right? So now we have to figure out now how do we move away from that type of life or living? How do we improve upon ourselves, like as a black family as a whole, right? Because even if we say, hey, the feminist movement, for example, is not something traditionally practiced, well, it's practiced now.
No,
It is,
we're not saying the feminist
right?
movement isn't traditionally practicing a bingy. What we're
Yeah.
saying is that the issues that brought about feminism,
Right.
right?
Is
It
not a
wasn't
black woman issue.
right.
That's
So
what
that's
I
what we're saying,
think.
right?
Yes.
Mhm.
I was that.
So we are saying these things exist today. So what we are saying is we have to
Yes.
give value. So the thing what we are saying is we have to give value to the roles of the woman, the black woman. So we are saying nurturing of the child is an important and significant role of the black woman. You get what I say? It's also a role of the black man, you know. But we are saying that nurturing side of it predominantly come from the black woman.
So
So
let me
there's
ask,
no
let me ask you this. You think the black woman, right? The royal black woman, that nurturing aspect has changed for her when she has a child?
drastically,
No, no.
drastically,
The nurturing aspect.
drastically fire.
I mean, she can still do it, but
Yeah.
but she has removed from doing it.
Drastically fire. It changed
Yeah.
drastically. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
drastically.
Yeah.
Drastically fire. Drastically.
Yeah.
Yeah, Okabongo used a term the other day, you know, that the black child is the most hugless child.
Yes, man.
You get what I said? The black child. Me recall one day I was in a store and I was looking at this white lady and her child going through the store. And the child was asking for item in the store. And the way how the mother tell the child no, it hit me up like I said. The mother telling the no like it's a yes, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, man. The mother tell the no like it's a yes. And when I see it, I say, wow, me really have to say, yo, I admire that. Because me just picture when time we are asked for something. And
We know you get.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
No
did I
lie.
know?
So I
You
say
know,
that nurturing fire.
Yeah.
Where's
You
that
shouldn't,
Kabongo?
you know you shouldn't go.
yeah. You know that from yard still. You should know that from yard still. Said, yeah, no matter go there for the back of it, nothing.
Wow. But when I say that
But
nurturing
somebody,
fire,
but even when you see that, right, and you say hugless, for example, right, some of the things we think that we should be doing, for example, and as part of nurturing and that the woman when she has a child, she swaddles this child, the body heat, the scent, everything, right? So she does this, right?
That's the
So
part
she's
of the connection, you know.
yeah, that the connection, right? So it must happen then, right? It must happen to have that connection, right? Where she swaddles and she grows this child and stuff like that. And you live in the West, right? And she has all these other responsibilities, especially black woman being on the lowest ethnic group, right? She has all these responsibilities to deal with. I don't think that her nurturing really changed. I think the manner in which she nurtures, when you're looking at the past, if you want to say the past to now, is different because of the rules and responsibilities she now has.
this is why we said,
yeah,
Bingi, that the feminist movement
yeah,
played a very destructive role in the black family and its experience. Because the reason why she now has all these rules and responsibilities that is now impacting her nurturing of the black child is because of the results of the feminist movement.
Well, here's the thing, though, Ras. Now, think about it. Now, you live in an economic condition, and you as a black man sometimes have less opportunities than a black woman in the society that we live in. So because of that now, the woman now feel this responsibility to step up the role that her family could live a certain way. So now she falls into a role by default, you know. She falls into this role where now we have to make ends meet because the man cannot do what he's supposed to do because of limited access or opportunities.
Agreed.
So now she's thrown into that role, so she must be indulged in the movement consciously or subconsciously. It is a must.
And
It's a
Bingy,
must.
you see how it's how everything tied together? So they
Yeah,
tied
it's a
together?
must.
Because guess what now? That is because the family breakdown.
Yes,
Because if the other extended family,
that would have
family
happened.
pressured.
Yeah.
Pressure ease.
So because you see, because
Yes.
now I just one man and
Concept.
one woman if you take on this economic
Pressure.
situation
The responsibilities,
right
yeah.
now. Yeah.
It's
Full
tight.
circle.
So
Full circle.
it has to because so then separate we, you know is a thing, you know, then separate, you know. Must separate man and woman, separate everybody from everybody, you know, because just know
Divided.
if you have
Divided we fall.
if you have three brother and if you want to run to the family house, a fourth out of them, you know, I play a mortgage now, you know. So I'm more money for them system, you know. Then you're a child with 18 run him out too. Yeah, I mean, but all how could I live together, you know, and I build something, you know.
Yes,
with
sir.
all of that resources, you know. And I put the resources there to something more tangible for the family, you know.
Right.
You understand? But I divide and rule again. Divide and rule. So, you know, divide me up and all the way week, all the way I pay rent, all the way I pay, you know what I mean? Because even though
But we feel so
said,
strong.
the black woman gone out in the work field now and I work and we don't see the result of it.
The benefits of it.
We don't see the benefits of it.
The
You know what I
benefits
mean?
of it.
All them do just work for hand to mouth. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
the destruction of the family. Let me
Again.
read something earlier. Though me want to mention. When I say black couples are the least married couple, like, you know what I mean? And are the most divorced couple too. Least to get married and the most kind of situation we're in, like.
So that's what we're talking about, the socioeconomic condition that changes the family structure altogether, be it or not having extended families.
Right. Bingy, just to respond to the point of the IMEC as well, right? Where we talk about placing value on these things. And this is why I said earlier when I said, like, for the woman staying at the home and nurture the child, this should be something where the society pay them for. That should be a career. You get what I say? That should be a career where them get paid for it.
Right.
So therefore, it shouldn't be something where them have to feel a necessity, where them have to go say, no, boy, just to make ends meet, I have to go give up this responsibility of nurturing my family just to make sure someone can provide food. You get what I say? Them supposed to.
In some countries where the women
Yes,
are
it's supposed to be, man.
more kids they have.
Yes, man, it's supposed to be, my lord. You get me, I say?
And I know, say, a country most valuable resource
It's the woman.
a human resource. And woman responsible for that.
Yes, man, completely.
Reproduction.
Yeah. Completely.
Yeah, man,
Not
that
just
because
reproduction, nurturing too.
if a woman decides, say, no more kids, the country resources gone down because your human resource is your most valuable resource.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man. You no country have a more valuable resource than a human resource. Once you no care what you have, you still need human. You know what I mean?
That's
yeah,
right.
you still need the human. If you have oil, if you have gold, you need human to go and get it. You know what I mean? Human to sell it too. You need human to, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, man.
Yes, sir. So this brings us to the close of this powerful series, The Black Family. We've covered a lot, the historical forces that have shaped our families, the resilience of the Black woman, the leadership and sometimes lack of leadership of the Black man, and the potential of the Black child. Black family remains a beacon of strength, love, and perseverance. And it's up to all of us to continue uplifting and supporting each other. The responsibility is upon our shoulders to correct those things which need correcting. We cannot wait for some external entity or external force to do. It is our responsibility, and I use the word responsibility with every implication that it holds. It is our responsibility to correct this, and we have to do this, right? The Black family is the foundation of the Black community. The Black community or communities form the foundations of the Black nation. So without a Black family, we cannot build a Black nation. And a people without a nation is like a tree without roots. So we have to fight to correct this. We have to. Too many children, as Okavango identified, that it is the child which bears the brunt of most of these things. And too many children are facing the brunt of these decisions that they had nothing to do with. They did not choose these things. You understand? So we who know have to do, right? Give thanks for the one them input in the reasoning. Give thanks for the movement. Give thanks for the ones them who viewing. Give thanks for the comments. Give thanks for the subscriptions. Give thanks for the notifications. Give thanks for everything. Remember, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Be a part of the Perfect Balance TrodClass as we go through this journey of self-awareness, self-identity, and self-rediscovery. Give thanks, my lords. Bingi, Okavango, Yaga.
All right.
Ready,
Come
give
on,
thanks.
give
Yes,
thanks.
sir.
Bless up.
Aye.
Yo, Bingy. Yo, Okapanga. Yo, hear me now, Rasta. Hear me now, the whole team, man. Listen me, Yaga. If a boy ever this